what is very probably going to be the final COVID stimulus bill just passed. What does that mean for you? Is there a check coming your way? What's in this thing? We'll get to all of that. Plus, why did it take so long? In just a moment. First, let's go to the floor of the Senate. This was the moment it passed. A party line vote 50-49. The American Rescue Plan goes through. Let's listen in.
No senator wishes to change their vote. If not, the yeas are 50, the nays are 49. The bill as amended is passed.
Bam! There you go. And that's H.R. 1319, the American Rescue Plan Act, going through on a 50-49 party line vote. Before we get to why the hell did this take so long, seems like this would be a shoo-in. It's got like 70% approval or something in the latest polling as far as the COVID bill. It's a behemoth, baby. It's huge. $1.9 trillion in this COVID bill. But what's inside? Let's dive in there. Aid to the unemployed, says the Associated Press. Expanded unemployment benefits for the federal government are going to be extended. They're stretching these out through September 6th now, and it's going to be $300 a week. That's less than they wanted to get. $300 a week until September 6th for this expanded unemployment benefit program. Also, the first $10,200 of jobless benefits is going to be non-taxable for households with incomes over $150,000, which is most people getting this assistance. Additionally, the measures provide a 100% subsidy of COBRA health insurance premiums to ensure laid-off workers keep their health care plans. What else are they getting? Or maybe are you getting? More checks. The legislation provides a direct payment, $1,400 for a single taxpayer. You may well be getting, after this goes back through the House, of course, a $1,400 check or $2,800 for married couples. Plus $1,400 per dependent. Individuals earning up to $75,000 are going to get the full amount, and married couples, if your income is below $150,000, you will get that full amount. A lot of potential money there for folks. Took forever, but there's at least some checks on the way, it seems. The size of the check would shrink for those making slightly more, with a hard cutoff at $80,000 for individuals and $160,000 for married couples. Here's the simple math. Do you make over $80,000 a year? Yeah, yes, you do. If you do, I'm sorry, you are not going to be getting a check. If you live in a household where both of the people's incomes together come up to over $160,000, you're not getting a check. Everybody else should be getting some money. Also, $350 billion goes to state and local and tribunal governments for costs incurred up to the end of 2024. Not much of this is immediate. $130 billion goes to schools. Over to businesses, a new program for restaurants and bars hurt by the pandemic will receive $25 billion. The grants provide up to $10 million per company with a limit of $5 million per physical location for payroll, rent, utilities, and other operational expenses. $46 billion in this $1.9 trillion COVID bill is going to testing and vaccines. Also, there is money for healthcare. A lot of this stuff comes later on in 2022 and beyond. There are some bigger tax breaks from households with and without kids, and a couple of other things for rentals and homeowners. The bill provides $30 billion to help low-income households and the unemployed afford rent and utilities. States and tribes would get an additional $10 billion for homeowners struggling with their mortgage payments because of the pandemic. Why did this take so long? Comes down to one dude, Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia. He did not back the Democrats' proposal. Keep in mind, they have the Senate. They even have the tiebreaker vote with Kamala Harris in the White House because they have the White House. They have the House of Representatives. What took so long? Joe Manchin at the last minute was one of the last hurdles that they faced because he had some issues with the bill. What does President Biden think about this? Well, let's go to him. Here he is speaking earlier today after the bill passed through the Senate. It now heads back to the House of Representatives, and then they'll finalize this thing. Here is Joe Biden speaking of this today.
Good day today. You know, when we took office 45 days ago, I promised the American people that help was on the way. Today, I can say we've taken one more giant step forward in delivering on that promise, that help is on the way. I want to start off by thanking the Vice President, but I want to thank all of the senators who worked so hard to reach a compromise, do the right thing for the American people during this crisis, and voted to pass the American Rescue Plan. It obviously wasn't easy. It wasn't always pretty, but it was so desperately needed, urgently needed. I also need to say a few words about the Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who I spoke with many times in this and again this morning. I served in the Senate, as you all know, for many years. I've never seen anyone work as skillfully, as ably, as patiently, with determination to deliver such a consequential piece of legislation that was so urgently needed as the American Rescue Plan. Chuck Schumer, Senator Chuck Schumer. When the country needed you most, you led, Chuck.
All right, you got a shout out there, Chuck Schumer, for pushing this through. Of course, it really could have been a whole lot easier since they had so much power and the Democrats didn't really have any numbers-wise, have any hurdles in their way. So, again, for you, if you make under $80,000 a year, this means that there is very likely a check headed your way for $1,400. If you have any kids, you get $1,400 per dependent. If you are in a couple making below $150,000, you have a $1,400 check coming for you, and then also the dependents as well. If you make more than $80,000 or as a couple, $160,000, you are screwed. You are getting none of this, and you'll like it, right? There it is. It passed in the Senate, the American Rescue Plan Act. What do you think about this? Is it too much? Is it too little? Is it too late? Is it exciting you that you're about to get a check in your bank account? How you feeling about this on this fine day here? So give me your thoughts in the comments. I know you will. You always do, and I always appreciate that. Spread this around. Share it if you like the video, if you find it informative. And make sure if you're over on Facebook, you click follow at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie, or on YouTube, hit subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and that helps out quite a bit if you're enjoying these videos. Thanks again, and we'll see you real soon.